Drivers, start your engines.
There you heard it from Dr. Dick Berger and Start Your Engines, round number 22 of the multi-league style Stone River Outfitters Cup Series, round number 22 race from Pocono, Pennsylvania, here in the Northeast. I'm joined in the booth with Ken Huber out in Montana. How's it going out there, Ken?
It's going absolutely fantastic out here in Montana. Thanks for asking there, Scott. And by the way, I'm not in the Midwest. I'm actually considered the Northwest. I remember we talked about that last week, but I thought I would remind you of that. Anyway, it's
Cool.
Great out here in the Northwest. We're not dealing with fires, but we're about to deal with some serious fire out here on the track. Some hot rods getting ready to do this 2.5-mile flat track, so to speak, with a road course kind of feel to it. Scott, what do you think about Pocono?
Exactly like you said, road course type of feel to it. It's right up my alley because I love flat tracking. I love tracks where a driver makes a huge difference, and a track like Pocono definitely comes to mind. The tricky triangle, as they call it, 3 different corners, 3 different styles. Let's go on board with Justin Michael here. Well, maybe not. He's going to pit road. Well, practice is actually done, so we'll skip that idea. But we're going to qualifying now. Maybe we'll catch a car or two and talk about the 3 different corners here at Pocono. Makes this place quite unique, and with this next-gen car, I'm not sure we're going to see something like some shifting. Maybe should be interesting. Do you know if they're shifting at all, Ken, this week?
Yeah, so I was able to get on the track just during practice there, and it looks like we're going to be shifting in all 3 corners with that 5-speed transmission, even going through the tunnel turn or whatever that's called back there on turn 2, going down to 4th gear in almost every single corner. So lots of shifting, but it's a nice smooth, this sequential transmission, so I don't think guys are really going to struggle with the shifting tonight, but it will be something that they'll have to do.
Yeah, certainly. We'll take a ride around here, maybe a lap or so, maybe a lap and a half with Justin Michael, our points leader. 7 wins now in the season from last week's win at New Hampshire, big one for him. And we're coming around turn 3. This is the flattest corner of the whole thing, and probably the longest corner of the entire track, which also the most critical corner because it leads to that long straightaway. We need to get those runs to set up a pass potentially in turn number 1, probably one of the best passing zones on the track here.
Yeah, definitely. Pocono is just one of those great places, Scott. I think you and I both love the flat tracks, and then this one offers that uniqueness. You know, after the green flag drops, the cars will get spread out here. That's just the nature of the track. But at the same time, even if you're out there running by yourself, man, you're having a lot of fun just grabbing gears and getting around this place.
Exactly. That was turn 1, probably the fastest corner. It has a little bit more banking. This is the tunnel turn, turn 2. It's nicknamed the tunnel turn because, yes, it has a tunnel underneath it. It goes to the infield, so really short compared to turn 1 and 2. Carry a lot of speed through there. I don't even think Justin was shifting through there, but now going into turn 3, most definitely probably a downshift here. Right to the yellow line. Probably see multiple lines here. Can carry a lot of momentum on that high side against setting up for the getting the runs down the front stretch here. We'll see what kind of lap he puts down here. We're doing 5 laps in qualifying. 2 minutes are down already. Justin Michael, top of the board. He's the only one that's put down a lap so far, 53.8. Nice job there.
Yeah, and he was fast. He had a 53.8, I believe, in practice there too, Scott. So he might be looking at the pole tonight. And speaking of the pole, you know, I just brought up the standings here, and Justin Michael is atop the point standings, Scott. Kind of been at the top all season long. Had a change up with Wesley Holland there a few weeks ago, but currently leading this thing again.
Yeah, certainly no surprise there. 7 wins on the season. Second place, Wesley Holland trying to chase him down. They've been going back and forth a couple times with unlucky weeks between the two of them. It's been a fun battle to watch, but Wesley Holland with 4 wins on the season so far.
Yeah, and then behind him, you got Christopher Davis. You brought him up last week. Christopher Davis hasn't won a race all season, but out there in 3rd place, just 91 points off the lead. So Christopher Davis having a great season this year.
Yeah, any other highlights going through the
So I'm looking, we got Greg Mull in 4th. He's got a win on the season. Jeffrey Merck kind of had up and down season. He's either checkers or wreckers this year. He's currently in 5th, 204 points behind. Vernon Bargheim starting to make his way up through the points. He was sitting back there a ways there, Scott, at the beginning of the season. If you remember last season, he pretty much was leading all season and then fell short at the end. But this season, kind of climbing his way. He's up in 6th. Charles Widener in 7th. Jack Watts in 8th, James Hearns in 9th, and Billy Bumgarner is in the top 10 there.
Yeah, over to 11th. Kyle Chadwick's one of those 2 wins. That actually doesn't paint the entire picture because he won our season opener at the LA Coliseum out there, as well as the All-Star race, if I remember right. But 2 wins on the season. He's down in points because he hasn't showed up for the last few weeks. So I think a lot of these guys are gaining points and positions on him because he's not racing with us the last few weeks here.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just looking through here too. So Rod Minton, he's back down to 13th. He's up a spot from last race. Josh R. Scott in 14th. James 00 Brown in 15th. Good run for James 00 Brown. And 16th in that 02 car is Heath Smith.
Yeah.
And so we got a few guys on the outside trying to get their way into the chase. Top 16 will get you in the chase. And we got, I don't know, just a handful of races left before we enter that chase. And so we got people like Trent Jum in 17th, Rob Haynes in 18th, Christopher Howell in 19th, Michael Melfelt Jr. in 20th. So Michael Melfelt's been running every week. So I imagine Michael would like to see himself get back into that chase there, Scott. But yeah, he's dropped back to 20th at current standings right now.
Yeah, I'm looking through the leaderboard right now. Qualifying is just finishing up. 10 seconds left on the board. We'll see if anybody is left out there. Justin Michael, Brian Bizzle, just finishing up a lap. See if he can improve. Seeing where he is on the leaderboard here. Yeah, can't quite do it in there. Looking at the top 25 on the leaderboard, so must have been a little bit slower on that lap. But nonetheless, we're going pre-race style here. Let's get our starting lineup rolling. Justin Michael on the pole, like I talked about, from Martinsburg, West Virginia. Vernon Margheim on his outside with 1 win on the season. Jeffrey Markin third, the 54 flat. Charlie Widner there from North Carolina in 4th, and Keith Smith rounding out our top 5. Wesley Hall in our 2nd place points from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Michael Melfelt in 7th, Jeff Gilmore 8th, Rod Minton a nice run there with a 54-1, not that far off the leader pace. From New Jersey there in 9th, and Joey Marks from Craigenside out in Nevada, 54-2, running out the top 10.
Yeah, and in 11th spot is Greg Mullen. That's 7. I think that's a fertilizer machine or something like that. I can't remember right now.
It was
Scott,
fertilizer last week, but we're back to Miller Fortune this week.
To Miller Fortune, yeah. Christopher Davis in the Wendy's machine will start out in 12th. Christopher Howell in the 88 will start in 13th. Eric Talent will start 14th. Robert Mattis starting in 15th tonight. Matt Rodoloso will start in 16th, and he's still got those rookie stripes, that rookie number, that 309 car. That's how we identify it. But he is qualified to pull those stripes off when he gets around to it. So Ken Richardson out there in 16th. John Panzula in, looks like 18th. Must have skipped a number there, Scott. Jack Watson 19th, and Andre Zavala in 20th.
There it is, 21st. Jason Hughes, Smoke in the 58 car, 54.4 from Kansas. Wally Tierhammer has got some fans, I think, already in the chat. Lance Ackerson, if you're out there listening. And 23rd, Josh R. Scott, Chris Voiles, also from Team Bandit. And 24th, and rounding out the cars that have taken the lap, Rick Hunderfeen. I don't recognize that name. Is that another rookie? Do you recognize that name, Ken?
I believe so. There's that 370 number. So, yeah, he's got the rookie stripes on the car. But I think he's been around for a race or two, so he might be getting qualified to get those stripes off.
Nice. Well, welcome back there, Rick. And rounding out the end of the field here is cars that have not taken a qualifying lap. Billy Bumgarner, Ron Quincell, Trent Drum, James Hearns, Brian Bizzle. Looks like he may have tapped the wall or something. We saw him finish up qualifying, rounding out the top 30.
Yeah, James Brown will start in the 31st position. Dave Schreck, 32nd. Kim Quick, our league administrator, he's starting in 33rd. I think he's on the track. I'm not really 100% certain, but we'll find out. The 111 of John Henderson starts in 34th, and the last car on the field, Double D, David Desjardins, will start in 35th.
There we have it. Our starting grid is set for Pocono. We're going 83 laps tonight, which should be interesting based on the fuel window that we've seen so far. We'll talk about that when the race gets started, but we are on the backstretch between turn 1 and 2. Lights are out on the pace car. Justin Michael and Vernon Margheim set to bring the field to green flag here.
Yeah, Justin Michaels, like I mentioned earlier, has been leading all this season here. He's got Jeffrey Merck, his teammate, right behind him in 3rd there. Got that 33 car of, you don't want to count this guy out, Vernon Margheim. So Vernon Margheim is qualified in that number 2 position, and I imagine he's going to be pushing pretty hard up there to stay up there tonight.
Certainly stacked field here. Should be an interesting, fun race. Hopefully not quite as many yellows as we had last week. Caution field race at New Hampshire. Justin Michael, of course, taking that checkered flag. You can see the checkered flags down his on the top of the car there along the post.
Yeah, did you find enough spots there?
We did. I had to work.
Scott?
We squeezed them all together, and yeah, we moved some stuff around. But I told him, I guess if he's going to put the effort to win these races, I'll find the effort to find places on the car for him. So there we go. Pace car makes a left turn on the pit road into the Geico restart zone. Justin Michael takes him down. Round number 22 underway in multi-league Stone River Outfitters Cup Style Series. Justin Michael with a great jump there with his teammate Jeff Merck just behind him.
Yeah, they're on the outside. You got the 95 with Charles Widener pushing that 33. Vernon Margheim trying to get ahead of Jeffrey Merck there on the outside. Still holding strong on the outside. Jeffrey Merck probably got the preferred line there as they come down, but that 95 is pushing that 33 hard and actually just slipped down behind Jeffrey Merck.
You can already see how these cars are fanning out with 2-3 wide down the middle of the backstretch there. Look at that. That's an awesome shot. They're going into tunnel turn. Carrying lots of speed here. Generally want to try to figure it out, get it single file, but haven't quite got it single filed out yet.
Well, the two teammates there, Bandit Motorsports 87 and 60, kind of got what they wanted, got 1-2 out there, and we've seen this before, Scott, these two guys getting out, and especially on a track with some drafting prowess here. Watch these two guys check out.
For sure, on the roof cam, Jeffrey Merck drafting, probably letting off, maybe saving some fuel. I say that, and he dumps to the inside. I'm looking for the lead in turn number 1. Lap number 2 here at Pocono. Let's see if he can complete that pass. Around Justin Michael side by side off the corner exit.
Yeah, and Vern Margheim's back there in third. He's watching the two leaders back battle it out, and probably hoping that maybe they have a little bit of contact there where he can sneak into the lead there.
Yeah, there it is. Justin Michael gives it up, I think. Maybe looking for the crossover going into turn number 3 here. He thinks better of it. On board the front bumper cam of Vernon Margheim.
So back here, Charles Widener in the 5th position, that 95 Craftsman machine, just got passed by Wesley Holland in the 41 machine and the 57 there of Jeff Gilmore. So Charles Widener struggling a little bit at the start of this thing. He's under pressure right now by, it looks like, Heath Smith, I would say.
That is Heath Smith in the 1 car. We updated his number. We've got a chrome number on that thing, looking sharp. For the Chris Durham show, Ford Mustang of Heath Smith there, making an awesome run here in 7th. Started in the 5th, dropped a couple spots, but he's got a plan for that.
Jeff Gilmore on the inside of that 41 and Wesley Holland. You see that yellow and black machine, that jerky machine, trying to get around that 41. Now, I've raced Wes Holland here at Pocono, and he's a strong contender. I imagine he's probably trying to save his equipment right now. Doesn't want to let that 57 by, but just keeping those guys within reach.
Yeah, it's a great battle here. All over the track, I'm sure there's great battles. Maybe we'll scan back through the field here, see what's going on. Christopher Davis back there. Chris Howell. Oh, here's some double wide racing. Greg Mall just clearing some guys. Matt Rodoloso side by side with the 86 is that. Andre Savala down the front stretch here.
Yeah, last race, I believe Andre Savala had some issues. That was at New Hampshire. I think a lot of people had issues last week in New Hampshire, and I'm glad we're at a track that kind of brings out some more green flag racing than what we've seen last week.
Yeah, looks like Josh R. Scott got a little bit loose off turn number 1. Almost, maybe a little bit too much wheel into it. Almost got into the wall and saves it on the inside there, but does a nice job. Right behind these guys, John Pansula. Always a fan favorite. Super nice guy here in multi-league. And the 01 Budweiser car looks like he's trying to contend with Jack Watts. I don't know. Are they fighting for best paint scheme tonight or what?
They might be. I certainly do like the Jack Watts paint scheme, but no, that 01 is, well, that's an old DI throwback, I guess, there, Scott.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can see the black marks, black stripes on the side. Looks pretty cool.
Back up front, Vernon Margheim putting pressure on Justin Michael there on the inside there. Trying to take that 2nd position away currently. And 33 machine is hoping to get the advantage, but that outside lane is going to have to drop. And I'm just looking, it looks like Jeffrey Merck is trying to pull that 33 with him, which is an unusual move, just kind of leaving his teammate out there.
Yeah, that was kind of
But it worked. It worked. Justin Michael held on to that position. 33 machine's going to have to rack and stack and reload and try it again going into turn 3 here. See, this is the flattest part of the track here. Sticks it in there hard. Can't quite keep it down. Doesn't have the wide exit there. It's going to fall back in line behind that 87.
There it is, on board 33 of Werner Margine cockpit cam. Kind of cool to see these guys sort things out, kind of get settled in, but also at the same time is great racing throughout the field there. As Vernon almost checks up and gets in the back of Justin Michael in the middle of turn 1 and 2, almost.
Yeah, it's interesting, Scott. I'm going through the standings right now. I don't see any big movers or losers right now. So, I mean, there's a couple guys that gained a few positions here and there, but it isn't like from a few weeks ago where we're seeing like 20 positions already made. I think it's going to be a slow go tonight. Use patience.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking at my leaderboard here. James 00 Brown maybe is up 4 spots right now, and that's probably the biggest mover that I see on the field.
And since you mentioned it, kudos to James Brown. So having a solid 90, didn't put down a qualifying lap, but up from 31st up to 27th. So start working his way up there. He's behind James Hearns, who also didn't take a qualifying lap. And James is up, looks like 3 spots.
Here's another new camera we'll be trying to use tonight on board the rear deck lid of James Hearns off the left rear. Nobody to his inside right now, but that should create for some exciting shots later on in the race, maybe for some side-by-side racing.
Yeah, I ran back up to the 6th position here. Charles Widener there, Scott. Charles Widener, he was dropping positions at the start of the green flag, but has kind of found his groove and behind that 57 car of Jeff Gilmore and just being nice and smooth out there. So it looks like maybe that was his intention. But just behind that 95 machine is that 92 of Rod Mitten. Rod Mitten always running strong, even in a long chair. So never count that 92 out of these things.
That's true. A little side-by-side action back here with Chris Howell picking up 10th spot on the inside of Joe Marks there. Christopher Davis looking to take advantage as well and down the straightaway, see what we can do for a draft here behind Joe Marks. Christopher Davis, of course, in that well-known Wendy's blue and red car there.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of fond of that car too, Scott. Just like the 77 car, that 38 machine. I don't know. I really like that Wendy's car.
Yeah, sharp looking.
Now, by chance, did you paint that car?
Nope, that's all him. So awesome job by Chris or whoever painted that for him. But yeah, super sharp looking car.
So I moved back up to the 4th position. Wesley Holland starting to put pressure on that 33 machine of Werner Margine as they come down the front straightaway. I'm just watching him tuck closer and closer behind that 33. Looking like he's ready to make a move here shortly. Yeah, one of the things I like about Pocono is, like I said, driver can make a huge difference. And you saw Wesley Holland just there. Gets right up on the back bumper of Wesley Holland going into turn 1 and then lets off super early. Lets Vernon dive it in there, and then Wes tries to get the big run here. You can see down the straightaway. So interesting strategies here as things are still single file through the top 5 at least. Yeah, as they just came through the tunnel turn, that's something else too, Scott. I noticed during practice that the car is actually very stable now. I didn't do a long run or anything like that, so I don't know how the tires behave on a long run, but the car was super stable all the way around this place, so it was very comfortable to drive.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows we're not seeing any incidents or anything like that tonight so far.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, probably leading to this great racing so far. Things kind of settled in, but let's get some green flag laps under our belt
95 machine. Putting pressure on Jeff Gilmore in that 57 machine down on the inside there going into turn 1. And give that position to 95. We'll just slide it up in front of that 57 and see if it does cross. So we're seeing that Craftsman machine start to make his way back up to the front here now, finding himself in the top 5.
For sure. Another sharp looking car. I did do that one. I painted that one for Charles Widner there. Craftsman. And Harbor Freight on the roof.
If you need a sharp looking car, see Pat. See Scott Patton at Patton Paints.
Oh yeah, we'll hook you up. Back up here, Wesley Holland still trying to put pressure on Werner Margine. Big draft here on the front stretch. See if he makes a move into turn 1, maybe. There it is.
See if he can accomplish it here as it goes into one. Gonna have some draft. Gonna have that 87 down at the bottom right now. Oh, it's gonna be tight. I think he had to check up there a little bit. Almost got into the side of Vernon.
Yeah, it's another great track where you can, if you really know what you're doing, and trust the guy to your outside. That outside guy has a lot of control to kind of pinch that car on the inside on the exit and kill their momentum on the corner exit. So that's exactly what happened there. I think with Porter Margheim and Wes doing a great job there and trusting each other, and Wesley Holland here going to give it another shot, probably setting up another pass on the front stretch. So this is turn 3 right here. Diving to the inside.
Yeah, and it's so hard to get momentum coming out of the corner there on the inside like that. He's got the 2 guys up front, Jeffrey Merck and Justin Michael, that are up on that high side, kind of giving Vern the draft there, and it's keeping his momentum up there.
So Justin Michael take a peek last time by down the front straightaway, thought better of it. Fall back in line behind Jeffrey Merck. Some side-by-side battling back there. The one car looks like Heath Smith. Taking Michael Milfelt with them through the tunnel turn, side-by-side. Jeff Gilmore on the outside. Christopher Howell on the outside.
Yeah, Jeff Gilmore, I've been watching, has been dropping position. So, you know, Charles Widener was the first one to start the attack on Jeff Gilmore, and he's just been giving up position after position. So I don't know if his tires are hot or he's already chewed them up, but we're 12 laps into this, probably another 8 before we start seeing caution flags. So, or not caution, but green flag stops.
Michael Milfelt all the way down here to the front straightaway. Ducking down to try to break that draft. Chris Howell behind him. Making a move on Jeff Gilmore on the top side here.
Yeah, Michael Milfeld Jr. gave up a spot at the start of this race. I think he's about on par right now, maybe a position up. See, this is for 7th position, I believe it is. Oh, it looks like 8th, actually.
Got that new left rear cam here on Jeff Gilmore. Cool shot there, Michael Milfeld going forward.
That's actually my favorite place to pass is that tunnel turn, Scott. But looks like Mike was able to get it done, but that 57 came strong on the outside. Let's see if Mike can finish this pass in that 155 car, and he does on the outside there.
Nice job for Mike. Started, gosh, where do you start tonight? Running 8th right now. Started in 7th, so down 1 spot, but slowly making those spots back up. Nice job up there, Mike.
Not much has changed up front. Looks like 87 is looking for a way around that 60 car. Just as I say that, no. Jeffrey Merck throwing a block as they're headed towards the tunnel turn, not allowing that 87 car anywhere that he wants to go. That 87 is going to take it strong on the outside of that tunnel turn. But Merck has a momentum coming out of that turn currently.
There it is, side by side here for the lead.
Oh, drifted up there on his teammate. That 87 is strong on the outside there. You know what? I think the 87 is like, you know, I'm going by you one way or another. And it's funny to watch 2 teammates race like this, Scott. They are racing hard.
I think the person who's probably enjoying this the most, Wesley Holland there in the third, saying, hey, you guys can go at it, teammates. Go ahead and upset each other, do whatever you're going to do, frustrate each other, and I'll be here waiting when things happen.
Yeah, no team orders tonight, apparently. So, well, I called it at the start that these 2 guys might hook up and check out on the field, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case tonight.
Merck drifting up in the tunnel turn. Luckily, Justin Michael gave him some room. Does Wes split him 3? Thinks better of it. Goes with Justin Michael in the 87 on the top side.
I think, and Wes is back there trying to figure out which car has kind of got the advantage so he can follow it. And I think he wants to follow that 87 currently. Although both these guys got to be chewing on them tires racing like this. And we're going to be coming up on pit stops here too, I would say, Scott. So, you know, it might be wise just to wait for the pit stops and see how things shake out.
Yeah, I think so. We talk about that fuel window. I think around lap 20 is probably about a 19 to maybe 20. So his first pit stop is going to be really telling as to how these guys are going to strategize the remainder of this race. If we can make it to 21 somehow, that becomes a 3-stop race to get us to lap 83. But just one lap short, and you're gonna be really struggling. So.
Yeah, and for some reason the 49 hit pit lane. I'm not sure if he's having mechanical issues. Yeah, it looks like he might be having some issues for the 49 car. So that's Chris Voiles. He's usually pretty strong, isn't he? Team captain for
yes.
Bandit Motorsports.
Yeah, which means probably to some extent that may strengthen that team as well, because if he's out of the car, he's probably up on the pit box making calls for these guys to help him out. Maybe he's telling them to calm down up front. Right? Chris Voiles goes to pit road, and these guys finally sorted out position 1 and 2 up here.
Yeah, and also that 87 and Justin Michael was able to test out what he's going to need to do to get by that 60 car, maybe for a future intel as we get into the late stages of this race. But we're in the early stages, and we're seeing some pretty hectic action out here with the 2 leaders anyway. And we're 17 laps in, getting ready to hit lap 18. Top 3 are starting to check out. They got about a 2-second lead on Vernon Margheim in that 33. He's getting passed by that number 1, Heath Smith, with that chrome number 1 there. And that's for the 4th position right now.
Yeah, great run there by Heath, picking up some spots, up 1 spot, started 5th, just picked up 4th from Vernon.
So it looks like Vernon Margheim. Oh, we got 87 on pit lane. So Scott, there we go. We're lap 18. Guys are on pit lane. I'm looking for Merck. Merck's still out on the track, but the 87's in.
It is interesting. Looks like, I think that's Andre Savalas behind him as well on pit road.
We'll have to see this next time by how many more takers we have for pit lane. Yeah, it sounds like the leader is going to be coming to pit lane here, Scott.
So that, to me, screams that Justin knows that this is definitely a 4-stop race, right? 18 gets you to
no sense pushing it.
36, and 36 gets you to 54, I think. Here's Jeffrey Merck on pit road, sliding to the inside wall.
Oh, big shakeup for Jeffrey Merck. Well, we got most everybody coming to pit lane right now. I will say one thing though, Scott, the 41 stayed out, 57 stayed out, and this might be the stories here. So if these guys can do another lap or 2, they might be able to shorten a pit stop out of this race.
Merck's still having issues on pit road. Either he got blocked out of his pit stall, he made contact with somebody, and then overran his pit stall. I'm not sure exactly what was happening, but now he finally finds it there at the end of pit road.
That is a serious amount of drama, and yeah, it looks like the 60 is very confused.
We'll go off of turn number 3. This is the last corner. Wesley Holland, wow, manages to stay out. That's pretty big, making it to lap 20 here.
Well, here we go, Scott. So this will be lap 21 when he comes to pit lane. So the thing I noticed about Wesley is he was running behind the 2 leaders, and I wonder if that draft was allowed him to just save fuel, sit back there and save fuel.
Exactly, especially with the pace lap, right? These guys are also burning fuel as they run the pace lap at the very beginning of the race. So very impressive for Wesley to be able to do basically 21 laps here. I'm going to assume he's going to come in this time, but looks like he may be on the 3-stop strategy. Jason Hughes right behind him, caught off pit road, a lap down.
Yeah, that news is going to be big if he can do it there, Scott. So, but if he did it and he did it with the draft, he's going to need some drafting partners again when he comes back out, and it'll be interesting to see where this all shakes out.
Yeah, looking at another couple cars in third here. We got Chris Howell in second, Greg Mall in third, Mike Rodoloso. All these guys have not pitted yet, so decent amount of the field. We have to go down to I think Heath, Justin in 7th spot. So your top 6 right now are still out on pit road, or still on the racetrack rather. Wesley Holland pit road.
Yeah, I'm waiting for timing and scoring. I'm just seeing where Greg Mall, Christopher Howell. Greg Mall still out on the track. Are you still showing Greg Mall?
Yes,
not pitting.
Still out the track. Yes.
Wow, that's even bigger.
There he is. Miller Fortune went back retro style here. Put the old fertilizer car away. We're back with Miller Fortune leading this race at Pocono. 21 laps down. That is impressive for Greg Mall here.
Yeah, we'll see if Clockman can do it. I call him Clockman because he won the clock at Martinsville earlier this season, so it's his only win of the season. So he's going for broke tonight. and we'll see. We'll see. I wonder. I got to listen to that thing, Scott. Can you go in the cockpit and see how low on fuel he is? That thing's got to be on fumes.
Yeah, here we go. We're on. You can listen to it here as he enters. Gotta imagine it's got to be the pit road this time. Here it comes, pit road entrance. Maybe if Jeffrey Merck is watching, he can take a tutorial on how to enter pit road.
Oh no! I was just going back to look. Jeffrey Merck is a lap down. He's back in 32nd position, so he went from the lead. He's behind his teammate, of all things, trying to get that lap back. So he's basically where he went into the pit, so one position down, but actually a lap down. But he's behind that 87 machine. So he did hit the wall. So some troubles that Jeffrey Merck's going to find himself in. Oh, and we're under caution. Not sure what happened there, Scott.
Yellow flag is out.
Yeah, I don't see anybody slow on the track, so.
Put it out, turn 4. I have a spectator climbing the fence.
That's David Hoots there telling a spectator apparently is climbing the fence in turn 4, even though there's no turn 4 here at Pocono. But looks like Trent Drum and James 00 Brown getting into it in the tunnel turn. Trent Drum on the outside there. James O'Brown just to his inside makes contact. Tough break for those guys.
Well, I'm just looking at the standings here, Scott. I'm looking at Jeffrey Merck in the 60 car, and I don't think he's going to be able to get his lap. Oh, yeah, he should be the first car lap down.
Your lucky dog pass, right?
Yep, should be the lucky dog. What I was getting ready to say, Scott, because he did a header into the wall, I imagine there's a little bit of damage on that Toyota Camry. Yeah, there is. There's quite a bit of front-end damage, and that's really going to hurt you in the corners here, Scott. And, I mean, he's also going to have to draft. He's always going to need a drafting partner, but the other thing is man, it's going to be hard to get that front end to stick in the corners.
Yeah, there's a close-up. You can see some of the damage on the front end there of the Toyota. Stone River Outfitters title sponsor there on the 60 car, but 3 wins on the season. Tough break coming to pit road. Probably collected a penalty, I gotta imagine. I gotta imagine he was speeding on the pit road entrance there. That probably what's put him a lap down, right?
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, I didn't catch that, but yeah, good call. Hey, if you're out there in YouTube land, you know, throw us a like and a subscribe, and let us know what you think of the race, man. Let us know you're out there. I know some of the drivers are probably watching right now too, and got a nice big long caution too. So Scott, one of the other things is you know, I forgot completely what I was going to say. Oh, Wes Holland and Greg Mall trying to use that fuel strategy. That might all be out the window. Yeah.
Looking through the standings right now, trying to figure out James Hearns up 13 spots on the night in that royal purple car there, 78. David Schreck back there picking up 11 spots on the night.
And looks like the 87 is back on pit lane, so he's going to get that car topped off more than likely, I'm guessing. That he will be in some traffic though, because majority of cars stayed out. So just Michael coming in to either take fuel or fuel and tires. I'm not really sure.
Bunch of cars on pit road here. Awesome view. Looking straight down pit road as these guys make their entrance. Should be interesting to see if anybody takes tires here. Watch the jack stands. I don't see many tires going on, but gas tanks in and down and away. Quick stops here off pit road.
And that means Wesley Holland inherited the lead. So, you know, at least by stretching it out, there was some benefit for Wesley by able to stretch it out a lap or two.
Yeah, and now we're going to see something. It's kind of fun when things get shuffled around like this. We're going to see guys like Justin Michael and who else was around him there. All the top runners are going to be back in traffic now. It should be interesting to see what they can do. Vernon Margine, Michael Milfeld, Heath Smith, Charlie Widner.
Hey, we got a lap here. Why don't we talk to Wes Holland? I'm curious. Want to talk to our leader, Scott?
Yeah, is he down there?
I'm looking right now. So that's Bad Apple Racing. I am not seeing him actually.
Yeah, he usually joins at the end of the race if he needs an interview, but yeah. Well, we want to talk to you, Wes, but we can't. So
we'll have to ask him on the post race. I guess it was Greg Mall that I was curious about how much fuel he had left in that tank. And Greg Mall is currently running in, let's see, Just
11th.
looking through
I got him.
11th,
Stayed out
okay.
under the caution here. You want to talk to Greg while I got a long caution?
Yeah, sure.
All right, here you go.
Hey, Greg. Up here in the booth with Scott and myself. How's the drive going out there tonight?
Well, aside from some iRacing glitch where I had to give up a whole bunch of spots there coming out of the pits when that caution came out, so far it's been okay. I'm not sure how this restart's going to pan out with some guys just going into pit right there, but we'll see what happens. So far, so good.
So what I was going to ask you, you stretched it out 22 laps, I believe it was. How much fuel did you have left when you came into pit lane?
I had about 3 or 4 tenths left, so fuel pressure wasn't dropping yet, but it probably wouldn't have been much beyond that before I was going to start doing that. So had enough before I had to really get conservative on fuel saving on that last lap. So
Was that your plan tonight to kind of stretch it out and save fuel?
that's one of the strategies that I kind of consider every time I come to this track, and was curious to see if a yellow like this was going to happen, and just kind of throw a wrench into that plan, and sure enough it did. But sitting okay right outside the top, doing okay.
Well, Scott and I will look forward to you getting that Miller Fortune car back up front. As you go through the tunnel turn here, we'll throw you back to your crew, and thanks for talking to us up here in the booth.
Yep, thanks guys, appreciate it.
Good luck out there, Greg.
Thanks, man.
All right, there we have it. Lights are out. Lap 25 laps are down. 26 going up on the board here. What do you say we crank it up here? Watch the volume on your TV if you're a little sensitive, but we got some crank it up cameras. We designed, spent some time doing some cool cameras here at Pocono, so we will check that out here on this restart.
I always like to crank it up, Scott. It's kind of a nice time to sit back and just enjoy some fuel and some muscle cars, I guess.
Oh yeah, Rod and Mitten on the outside. This should be really interesting. Good job by Rod and strategy and getting right back up there. Eric Talent there in fourth, and here we go. Crank it up, multi-league style. Looks like yellow flag is out. We'll take a look at what happened. That was pretty exciting there for a couple laps around Pocono. And see if did you catch what happened there? Looks like Jason Hughes, maybe?
Yeah, I don't see anybody slow on the racetrack at the moment.
Off of turn 3, it looks like. Let's take the roof cam of Ron Quincell in the 56 car. See what happened. I think just gets turned. All right, Jason Hughes on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the replay there now, Scott.
Take a look one more time there. See Jason Hughes on the outside. Those guys just get together. Huge contact. Both cars get airborne. Almost collects James Hearns on the inside. 8 car slides right by there.
I'm always impressed with Justin Michael here. You know, he started out, probably 15th position on that restart, and he's all the way back up to 7th after taking that fuel only there, Scott.
Yeah, you talking about Justin Michael or Wes, you said?
Yeah, Justin Michael.
Just Michael, yeah. Absolutely.
And now that we got these cautions falling, you know, cautions breed cautions, as they like to say, and it seems like it happens when we do our crank it up too, Scott.
Right. Maybe we'll put that to bed for the rest of the night. That was pretty
No,
cool.
no,
Those,
I
those,
was enjoying that.
I was gonna say those cameras with those cars going 3, 4, 5 wide on the front stretch and down the Long Pond Straight in the back stretch there is pretty cool.
So I'm just going through the standings here, Scott. I'm looking at Trent Drum. He's up 20 positions so far tonight, and I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the way the cautions have fallen and how pit stops have played out. But having a good run just behind him in that 370 car with the rookie stripes there, Rick Hunderfeen. He's up, looks like about 15 or so spots.
Yeah, looks like Butt Kicker sponsorship. Nice run by Rick here in the top 10. So we mentioned how when that caution fell in lap 22 or so, was it maybe 21? The last caution that we had, that kind of threw the fuel strategy out the window for guys like Wesley Holland, Greg Mall, guys like that staying out on the racetrack. But I'm not sure that we're necessarily done with a fuel strategy here at the end of this race. We still got 55 laps to go and quite a ways, almost twice as long as we've already run so far. So could be an opportunity later in this race for some fuel mileage to develop, and those guys take advantage of that as well.
Yeah, definitely. These big tracks, you always got to be on the lookout for the fuel strategy there. I'm still really impressed with people like Greg Mall and Wesley Holland getting as many laps as they did. So
pit road's a busy place here. David Schreck down, Andre Zavala, Chris Davis, of course, Jeff Gilmore.
I'm just going to make some adjustments here, Scott, to my timing and scoring, because I think that might be part of my problem. I'm not seeing some of this.
Up front here, Eric Talent running third. Great run by Eric. I wonder if he's down there. He is. Why don't we talk to Eric Talent on this yellow, see what his strategy is like going forward. Hey Eric, it's Scott Patton in the booth along with Ken Huber, but I just wanted to talk to you, Eric. Top 3 run right now. I know a lot of that was through the pit cycle, but talk to me about going forward. I know you got Justin Michael, who led a lot of laps early on this thing, just behind you on this restart probably, but what do you got for those guys going forward in front of you, Rod Mitten and Wesley Holland? I can't hear you, Eric. I see you lit up, but make sure your mic's on there.
Got me.
There, we got you.
We had you. We don't hear you now, Eric.
Yeah. Well, he's having some radio problems. We'll let him get back to work there and figure that out, as lights are probably going out this time by. We'll wish Eric the best of luck on this restart. He's probably going to be on the inside, presumably behind Wesley Holland. Lights are out. You can indicate on the scoring pylon in the top left corner that yellow flag extinguished. Lights on the pace car are extinguished, and we are going racing lap 30 on the board.
Kind of excited about this restart, Scott, because this is I predict some big fan outs here on that front straightaway as we come to green. So guys are going to try to get back some of their positions that they lost over these last couple of cautions, and should be quite exciting.
Definitely, this is where things can get kind of dicey. Like we mentioned, guys on different pit strategies, different tire strategies. I'm looking down the stints of tires right now. Eric Talent's got 13 laps on his tires. That's the most, compared to somebody like Justin Michael, who's just got 6 laps on his tires. So,
hey, a shout out to the 4th place call of Robert Mattis. Haven't seen him run up top here over this season too much, but he's out there in that Red Bull machines, and I guess Red Bull did give him wings tonight.
Nice job there, Robert. Colorado Springs. I think he's teammates with Wesley Holland from Bad Apple, maybe. I know those guys at least work a lot together. So, also from Colorado Springs is Robert. So, maybe they do a lot of work during the week. I don't know.
Perhaps. So our top 5, Wesley Holland is going to take us to the green on the inside there in that red machine. Rod Mitten on his outside, having a strong run tonight. Eric Talent down on the inside. We'll start in 3rd, Robert Mattis, who we just spoke of on the outside, and just behind them in that last 5th position, 87 machine of Justin Michael.
Here we go. Lights are out on the pace car. I think we'll do a quick cockpit cam of Justin Michael with those fresh tires. See what fanning out, see what restart looks like here. 3 wide style. Coming to the Geico restart zone. Pace car takes the left turn. You can see the blue markings on the wall, and we are green flag racing. Lap 31 going on the board here at Pocono.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the 95. Almost went 3 wide there with the 7 car of Greg Mall. Rod Minton on the radio, some interesting chatter. Wasn't sure what was being said, but he got the 5 car on the inside of that 92 trying to make that pass. Not going to get it there. Look at Justin Michael all the way up to 3rd now.
There was definitely some contact there on the backstretch. I want to say it was Vernon maybe that got the worst. No, maybe Andre. I get this cars confused sometimes, but Vernon made contact off of turn number 1 there.
Yeah, back up at the top 5. Greg Mall on the outside of that 14 car. Greg Mall is trying to make some strong moves right now in that Miller Fortune car. That 7 car couldn't quite get it done there. He's got the 5 car right behind him of Eric Talent trying to get the pass done on the 95 machine. Can't get it. Rod Mitten on the pit lane. I'm not sure. He must have got a black flag. That's probably what the radio chatter was. And I'm gonna guess that it was a Geico restart zone problem.
Probably. It's too bad for Rodman, who's having a good run up there through the cautions and the cycles there. Oh, Charlie Whitner gets in the back of Greg Mall there. Greg Mall with an awesome save in the middle of turn 1. Smokes the tires.
Talking about Rod Minton there, who just headed to pit lane. The one good thing about Pocono, though, is you typically won't go a lap down. So if he can get a caution here shortly, it'd be back in this game.
Back up front, Wesley Holland leading. Justin Michael moved from, what, 5th on that restart? 7th? All the way up to
yeah, it was 5th. I'm sorry,
2nd
you're right.
now, yeah.
Yeah, he did that rather quickly. If you remember at the start of the race, Scott, positions weren't changing really fast, and but Justin Michael on the first caution found himself mired back there in like 15th, and now he's battling for the lead already. But I think he's going to have his hands full with Wes Holland. Like I said, I've raced Wes Holland here at Pocono. Wes Holland definitely knows how to get around this place. We'll have to see what Wes has got for Justin. But Wes seemed like he was back there saving fuel. Now he's up front burning all that fuel, and Justin Michael's back there just watching him, seeing what that 41 is doing.
Absolutely. We talk about tires. Justin Michael's got 9 laps on his tires, and Wesley Holland's got 12 laps on his. So just 3 more laps for Wesley Holland, doing a great job of holding off arguably the fastest car tonight, Justin Michael. As he looks to the inside, not sure he can get side by side, thinks better of it. Side by side back there for 3rd, though, Charlie Widner and Robert Mattis. Turn number 1, great battle there.
Yeah, that 95 machine's looking good, but he couldn't quite get it done there. Had to fall back in line behind that 14th. Just behind them, we got Vernon Margheim on the on the inside there of Eric Talent, I believe it is. Going through the tunnel turn. Got Christopher Howell right on the back door of that 33 machine, trying to follow him through, trying to get by that 5 machine. As they head into turn 3 here, side by side. 88 machine is having a hard time getting the momentum. Got Michael Melfelt trying to push him, but doesn't look like that pass is going to work right at the moment.
Yeah, huge momentum. Great job by Eric Talent by squeezing him on the exit there and taking all the momentum all the way to the wall and carrying that momentum down the huge. I believe this is the longest straightaway in all of NASCAR. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that, but pretty sure it's true.
It sounds true. So if it sounds true, it must be true.
Absolutely. Still side by side here.
I think Wes's dad threw out a chat in the comment section saying, "Go Panic Boy." Not sure what that means.
As we go back up front, we actually missed that pass. Justin Michael passed Wesley Holland while we were back there looking at Eric Talent and whatnot. So, new leader, 87, lap number 35 here. These guys still going side by side. Charlie Widner and Robert Mattis still trying to figure it out here. What I really like about this is they're putting up quite a battle, but they're not losing all that much ground to leaders either at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. I heard some radio chatter back there. I'm looking now back at Michael Melfelt Jr. in the 10th spot. got the 70. He's being worked on by the 77, that Budweiser machine of Jack Watts. Can't quite get it done there, but I think Michael Melfelt might have had a little bit of a slip up there. See another Budweiser machine taking a look on the inside of that 77 car back there in 10th to head towards the tunnel turn. Oh, the 77. I think that was, he started to cut down and realized there was a car in there or something. That was a weird move.
And the 01 of John Pantula did the same thing out the exit of the tunnel turn. Catches the 309 on his outside, almost clips fenders there. Is Jeffrey Mark a lap down still, or is he? No, he's back on lead lap, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, he's back with 3 wide. Coming out of 3 there. Jeffrey Merck trying to get positions back at the moment. And he's got some damage fixed on that car too. I noticed the front end isn't all beat in on that car like it used to be.
Yep, we'll dive into the inside of a 309 car. Ryan Bizzle, haven't talked much about him tonight in the Mack truck Chevy. Covington Motorsports.
Yeah, having a decent run tonight, although he's, like I said, he's under pressure now from that 01 machine. I don't know, that 01 machine, I think it must have fell back a few positions, so not sure if he's going backwards or forward at the moment. Jeffrey Merck trying to get by that 309 car down on the inside. So Jeffrey Merck, he was back in 32nd, I think the last time I mentioned his name. Currently finds himself in 13th. Probably when they cross the line, he's probably going to be closer to top 11 or so. We'll see as my timing and scoring catches up here.
Looking at, I gotta notice that Josh R. Scott may be having some, looks like motor issues here. This is a replay, but it's an interesting sound from that car. I don't think it's supposed to sound like that as he takes it to pit road. Josh R. Scott probably retired for the night.
Yeah, tough break for that machine. So back up front, Justin Michael, Wes Holland, and Charles Widener having a great run tonight. Again with Greg Mall too in that 4th position. But Wes Holland, a little bit older tires, I think 3 or 4 laps older is what you said, Scott. And but holding nice and tight behind that 87 machine and dragging that 95 and 7 with him.
There he is. We're on the front bumper cam of Wes Holland. Down the long front straightaway here. Full grandstand of crowd here.
And we're coming to a crucial stage, at least if I was racing this race, Scott, where we can get to lap 40, 41 to make it on 2 more stops, basically. So, you know, you're trying to make that magic goalpost of probably lap 42, and then you know that you're only going to have to do 1 more stop after your next stop.
Absolutely. Right now on the stint, these guys are 18 laps in, so guys like Wesley Holland are probably going to be some of the early ones to come to pit road. Looking down the scoring pylon, Robert Mattis is with him as well. Robert's got 20 laps on his tires right now, but we've also thrown a couple yellows in there where these guys did not pit, so I'm guessing another 2 to 3 laps should see the pit road start to heat up here.
And if you remember, Justin Michael came in and topped off and Wes didn't. That allowed Wes to inherit the lead back there. That was probably about lap 27, I believe, somewhere in there. Charles Widener now putting pressure on that 41 machine of Wes Holland. Couldn't quite get it done there, slips back in behind him. Greg Mall just watching all the action in front of him.
Hats off to Charles here with a great run, top 3. Hanging with these tough leaders up front, point leaders, so nice job, Charlie.
Yeah, nice job, Charlie. And I know I've ran with Charlie at Pocono too. He knows how to get around this place as well, so. And Charles Widener has had some struggles this season, and so it's good seeing him up front.
Showing Eric Talent may have had some issues. Let's go back and see. I guess he's just on pit road. Never take that back. So probably a planned stop for Eric there.
Well, we're getting to that zone, Scott. We're going to be lap 42 next time by with 83 laps in the book. So that's about 21 laps. They'll be able to make it. So I imagine most of these guys, if they came in now, will be able to do it on 1 more stop. Wes Holland now back all over the back bumper of that 87 machine. So kind of surprising, a little bit older tires, but it looks like Wes Holland wants that position, that lead back.
Either that or he's just saving gas behind Justin Michael and kind of using him as a tow truck around this 2.5 mile speedway.
Well, being that he went 21 laps the last time by, he's in this, I would say, pretty much in the safe zone to now make it on just one more stop. So. I'm watching the second two, Charles Widener and Greg Mull. They're actually starting to slip back. So those front two start to pull away. Hearing calls for pit lane, so I do hear some drivers starting to get ready for pit lane there.
All right, we'll try to keep an eye on all the action for you the best we can. Let's go back in the pack a little bit, see if we can find some good racing. Ken Richardson, haven't talked much about him, but some damage on the left side of that 16 Can-Am Chevy. Ford, rather, I'm sorry. Just in front of him is that 309 car of Matt Ronaloso, running in 12th, trying to crack the top 10 here.
And while you were back there, Scott, Greg Mull did get by Charles Widener now and is in that third position.
There it is, down the front stretch.
Back here looking where you were earlier, Scott, there was back on the 86 car of Andre Savala. I think he just got by the 01 there of John Panzilla, not 100%, but he's looking a little bit stronger now, putting pressure on that 16 car of Ken Richardson.
Came back off a little bit earlier than Ken did in the entrance of turn 3. Pinch it down to the bottom, maybe try to get a straighter run off the corner, a little bit more momentum, use that draft. See if you can catch him here. Thought about the flag stand, maybe duck out. No, thinks better of it. Just gonna stay in line with Ken Richardson here.
Well, we've crossed the halfway point. We've got 40 laps to go. I think that was a crucial point for most of these drivers now, Scott. So it's going to be a question whether you come in and get these tires now or you try to stretch out that fuel. I don't know. I mean, you might want to save a little bit of fuel for a green, white checker. What do you say, Scott?
That's true. Green, white checker finish, and certainly a possibility here. Hey, hats off to, I know, we we crap on him a lot here at Multi-League Racing Network, but Jeffrey Mark recollecting things back up the 6th spot, 4 seconds behind the leaders. And let's check out one more thing here. His tire stint, 18 tires, comes pit road this time. We'll see if he can make a better entry. Now that looks a little bit cleaner, Jeff. There you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey, make sure you watch his pit entry. It'd be entertaining.
Maybe his teammate Greg Mull gave him some lessons there.
95 on pit lane, so he's one of the top 4 cars. So seeing Charles Widener head to pit lane, so I imagine our leaders are going to be on very shortly here, Scott.
Keep an eye on them. First and second, no change there. Justin Michael, Wesley Holland. I'm a little bit surprised that, I know it's not much, but between guys that are this competitive, between Justin and Wes, 3 or 4 laps can make a big difference in terms of being able to pull away and make a gap on each other. So I'm surprised and impressed that Wes has not lost much ground to Wesley Holland, to Justin Michael rather, as he does come to pit road right now.
Yeah, and he's bringing Greg Mull with him. Locks up the tires a little bit. Greg Mull right behind him. Just checking pit lane. Christopher Howell, Vernon Margheim, Michael Melfelt Jr. all on pit lane right now.
A great shot of all those guys coming down. See if they can find their pit stall in one piece without overrunning it. Nice job by everybody up here. I heard Heath Smith currently running in second. Going to be onto pit road this time by.
Yeah, it sounds like our leader too. So Wes Holland took 4 tires. It looks like there might have been 2-tire stop there with the 88 car. I have to check on that though, Scott. But he beat Wes Holland out, so I knew it. I knew he's behind Wes Holland when they went in, but
yeah,
right in front of him now there.
I'm showing 88 car last time in was 4.8 seconds. So that to me screams 2-tire stop.
kind of looks like he's holding up Wes there, getting back on the track there. So Wes not wanting to give up any time on that pit stop, found himself behind that 88 car, getting an off pit. Even the 95 passed Wes Holland. So 95 now is, he was in fourth when he went in, and Wes was in second. Now the 95 is ahead of Wes.
Great job by Charlie there with, let's see what Charlie did for a pit stop. 4.9 seconds, 2 tires, it looks like, for Charlie Widner as well.
Well, Justin Michael just got 4 tires. He is headed back out onto the access apron, I guess you would call it, and see where he comes out, where he shakes out on this thing.
Yeah, we'll go to maybe a blimp cam to see, because these guys should be entering turn 1 here any second. Let's see here. That's Justin Michael coming off of pit road. There's Eric Talent. There's Charlie. We'll go roof cam. There's Justin Michael on the Long Pond straightaway up there. Still getting up to speed. Eric Talent around his outside. And it looks like Justin Michael is probably going to continue to lead this after this pit stop cycle.
Hats off to Charles Winder in that 95 machine. Great pit stop. Finds himself in, well, when this all shakes out, in that second position more than likely. Oh, making a move for the lead here on the inside going into turn 3. Oh, power move on the 95 Craftsman machine. Takes the, well, I shouldn't say the lead, because technically he's not in the lead, but this will be the battle for the lead here in a few laps.
Wow, go get him, Charlie. That's awesome.
For all the race fans out there, that was actually the battle for 10th, but that was probably the best. That was a great move there on that by that 95 machine.
I'm not so sure I wouldn't have, if I was out there, I may have just backed off and been content riding behind him and figure out where things sort out after the pit stop, but hats off to Charlie for just sticking in there, staying on the go pedal, and picking up that spot. Should be really critical when things cycle around here.
And it makes great TV for us, so Scott. You got it.
Let's go back up front. James Hearns still out here in first. He's got a 10-11 second lead over Christopher Davis.
Yeah, I believe his teammate, that's his teammate, and his teammate, I think, just headed to pit lane, so I think he's out there by his lonesome.
Jeff Gilmore was in second. He's on pit road. Christopher Davis, talked about him. Yeah, all these guys on pit road now, and then it'll cycle back to Justin Michael.
So a little backstory about that 78 machine, our leader currently, James Hearn. So James Hearn did not take a qualifying lap. He started in 29th, but the reason for that is, folks, is he has to make his lunch for work because he works at night. So after the race, he's got to pack it up and head to work. So he tends to spend his qualifying making his lunch. So there he is. He's going to give up the lead, but on pit lane, having a strong run. So familiar position for James for starting in the back.
Hats off to you, James. Get some TV time up there, too, in the Royal Purple Ford Mustang. Nice job bringing it to a stop here. Here's our battle up front, heating up. Justin Michael all over the backside of Charlie Widner off of turn number 3.
Yeah, I'm just looking back. What happened to, oh, there he is, Wesley Holland. I was trying to find him there. He's just behind Justin Michael.
Yep. Justin Michael way outside in turn 1, sails it in there, probably looking for a crossover here to the inside maybe as they exit turn 1. There it is.
Yeah, and Charlie was one of the first leaders to pit. I think he was in 4th, so he's got a couple laps older tires on Justin now, and I think that 41 car wanted that 95 machine to hold up that 87 for as long as possible, but Wes is definitely sniffing that draft now, so he's back in it. I know Wes had some struggles getting off pit lane there, got stuck behind the 88, and probably lost a bunch of time, but he can now sniff that leader's draft, and he's back up there.
Try to look, looks like Billy Bumgarner's just coming to pit road now. Looking through the field here to try to find some more battles going on. Maybe Jeffrey Mark. Let's see here. Him and Heath Smith. I think that's an Owens. Yeah, let's see here.
One of the things about Pocono, once these guys get spread out, although there's a heck of a battle here with the 155, Michael Melfeld Jr. pressuring that 33 machine of Vernon Margheim. It looked like Michael Melfeld Jr. had to check up there a little bit just as I was calling these guys out to keep from getting in the back of them, but it's like that battle's kind of sorted itself out for the moment. Back up front, Wesley Holland just made the pass on Charles Widener on that front stretch there, so Wesley Holland finds himself back up in second place.
Probably looking to cross over and crossing back over in the exit of one, but not quite the tires to do it, I think.
Justin Michael runs down to the low side of the track there. I'm not sure if that was to try to shake the draft or what he was doing there, but I think Wes is like, yeah, go ahead and do those moves. I'm just going to stay right here. I'll get you.
Right. It's funny. It's kind of entertaining, as you know, to see guys like, you know, Wes and Justin Michael and some of these top runners here in the multi-league series where it's kind of like a chess match, right? I mean, they kind of know each other's moves, and they're definitely long-term thinkers, and they can map out a race like this. This is right in their wheelhouse in terms of playing a chess match with each other, so quite entertaining.
Impressive run by Jeffrey Merck back here in the 5th position. Him and Greg Mall have been pretty much nose to tail trying to catch the 2 leaders, running 4th and 5th currently. But heck of a comeback for Jeffrey Merck. If all the dust settles and he still ends up in a top 5, that's a heck of a run.
Bad news for Merck is he probably still has to make at least one more pit stop.
Yeah, when was he last in, Scott?
He's got 8 laps on his tires, so lap 45.
No, we should be good, I think. So we got 31 to go.
Well, they can only go 20, right?
On one more stop.
One more stop, right? Yeah.
Yeah, one more stop. Everybody's got to do one more stop.
There he goes. Slide job in front of Greg Mall. Give it to Jeffrey Merck off of turn number 3 down the front straightaway. Picks up P4, 3.6 seconds behind our leader. Last time by, let's talk about lap times a little bit. Jeffrey Merck with a 54.5 and Justin Michael with a 54.3. Maybe a little bit deceiving with that pass off of turn number 3, though.
So I'm back here all the way in 17th looking for a battle here. Brian Bizzle and Wally Turheimer side by side going into turn 1 there, coming out of turn 1, I should say. Trying to get this battle sorted out. These 2 guys are going at it hard here as we're approaching the tunnel turn. Still side by side, that 75 holding strong on the outside there. See how he gets through this turn. Brian Bizzle gets the advantage on the tunnel there and makes the pass on Wally there.
Nice job, Brian. Picking up spots still. P17.
And
Christopher Howell off pace just in front of him there. I'm not sure what happened to Chris, but he was quite slowed up there.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be a moment there for a second there, Scott. That speed difference was quite a bit. 75 pushing that Brian Bizzle down the highway here. Just looking back, looking for some other battles on the track. Jeffrey Merck still got 4-second deficit back there in 4th on the leaders. The gap between Wesley Holland and Justin Michael is stretched out a little bit, only 0.3 of a second. We're looking at about another 9 laps before we see another round of pit stops. Our last pit stops for the night, I believe.
Here we go, side drafting, or not side drafting, but regular drafting down the front stretch all the way to the checkerboard on the inside pit wall. Charlie Widner still keeping up pace here, only 2 seconds off the battle with these leaders here. We're picking up 3rd spot here. Nice job out there, Charlie.
Yeah, and I think that's just a result of him having a little bit older tires, but I'm looking behind Charlie, and he's got these 2 guys, Jeffrey Merck and Greg Mall, probably fast approaching here. I don't know the speed difference there, but I think they're closing about a 1/10 or 2 per lap.
Yeah, last time around, Jeffrey Merck with a 54.7 and Charlie Widner with a 55.2. It's about 7/10 difference there.
I'm just going around the track right now looking for some battles there.
Jeffrey
Scott.
Merck coming to pit road. This is interesting.
Well, this is what you called out before, Scott, because he can't make it on this, so he's going to have to do one more stop after this. So.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's I hear.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was he had 9 laps last time he called it out. I'm just guessing here, but
No, it says 11 right now. So 11 laps is all he did from last time he was on a pit road with a 14-second stop, which to me tells me it's 4 tires and fuel 11 laps ago. So not sure.
yeah, I'm not sure either. That's strange. Well, one thing's for sure, he's going to have to make one more stop. So I don't know, Jeffrey Merck's going to need a caution here, it looks like, to pull some kind of miracle off tonight. Back up front, that battle still hasn't changed. Wes Holland finds himself about a half second behind Justin Michael, kind of just holding that ground. I'm sure for West, he's just trying to hold on to it. He's got a couple laps older tires on it, and just hoping he can make it to the next round of pit stops here and get a clean pit exit this time.
Yeah, we're closing in on just a few laps here. If we back it up from 83, let's say guys like Wesley Holland can do 21 laps. He showed us in the beginning of the race. 21 minus 83 brings us to 62. So that's just 4 laps from now. The pit window could start to open. Not counting a green white checker finish though.
That battle back there for 5th, Vernon Margine, Michael Melfeld Jr. still continuing there. Michael Melfeld wants it, the 33 has it, and yeah, I think these guys will probably be battling for the rest of the race the way they look.
Yeah, they're probably having a lot of fun out there. It's like Rod Mitten just behind them coming to pit road.
The 14, Robert Mattis, having a strong run tonight. Called him out in that Red Bull machine, Mobile One, whatever.
Yeah, 14.
Yeah, Robert
right.
So that's going to be a tough break for Robert Mattis too, because I don't think these cars can go 25 laps, 24 laps.
Right. Scanning through the field right now from the spotter stand, seeing what's out there for good battles. Eric Talent had some issues. I think he had to come to pit road unexpectedly, running a 26 out there. A lap down.
Well, we did say, Scott, that Pocono is one of those places you get in a comfort zone and the cars kind of stretch out, and the battles come and go as you start making time up.
Speaking of come and go, I think Justin is going as he stretches out that gap between first and second now up to almost 1.6 seconds. Starting to stretch it out here.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that too, Scott. That's almost a full second different, and Wes wasn't that slow, so I'm wondering if Wes got loose or something and lost a bunch of time there. So got a lap car of Eric Talent behind that 41 machine. That's what you're looking at, that green and black car. He is the lucky dog recipient. Should a caution come out, would be that 5 machine currently.
Looks like he's also on pressure tires and he closed that gap pretty quickly on Wes here. Oh, sneaks up quick.
Yeah, that's fresher tires, boy, that looked a bit edgy right there.
Probably got Wes's attention in the rearview mirror there.
And Wes is probably like, okay, he's faster. Let me see if I can get a tow and get pulled up to Justin Michael here before my next round of pits.
Yeah.
Although Wes is really dropping back. I wonder if Wesley cooked the tires off that machine, because he is falling back off that 5 machine pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a fuel thing, because right now he's got 14 laps on his tires and fuel for that matter, so it shouldn't be a fuel window factor, so I don't think he's backing out for that reason.
So Ken Richardson making a pass there on the 01 car. John Panzilla just made that pass as they go through the tunnel turn there. Ken is looking to get into the top 10. This will place him in 11th. He holds on to this position. Well, Justin Michael's starting to step it out now, Scott. So he's got 2.5 second lead plus over Wesley Holland. So yeah, I'm sure some of these guys watching Justin Michael slip away is like, God, let me get some tires on this thing.
Right. Kind of a cool shot looking down the Long Pond straight there. It looked like Wesley was pretty close to him, but it's kind of deceiving when you're looking at straight down the backstretch there.
Going back up on our leader, Eric Talent making the pass on our leader, taking his lap back. Gonna put himself back on the lead lap the hard way. I think in Eric Talent's case, though, no matter what, he's gonna have to make another pit stop. So we haven't seen anybody but Greg Mall make it 22 laps. He was like the biggest fuel saver of the race so far. So other than Greg Mall, nobody's really made it past 21 laps.
And Eric Talent picking up the lead lap there, puts 25 cars out of the 34 starters on the lead lap.
So we are in the window now, Scott, not counting a green-white checkered where some of our leaders could be thinking about pit lane, although they might want to stretch it out for a green-white checkered. Just looking back here on the 86 car, 86 car back there in 4th position. I'm just trying to figure, oh no, I was looking at the wrong thing. He's in 9th position.
Yes. Eric Savala back here, picking up 11 spots on the night, started 20th.
There's a great battle back here for 7th, Scott, at one machine, and he spent, oh, it's just as I said that, he's headed to pit lane.
It's a woad up there. Whew.
Yeah, we got a bunch of cars. We got the 95, Charles Winder, the one car, the 86 is on pit lane, and it looks like I can't see that car number there.
That would be the John Pansulo just behind him there in the Budweiser car, I believe.
And these guys should be able to make it, provided there's no green-white checkered. We got 20 to go, so this should be their final stop of the night.
Brendan Drum just making an entry to pit road.
Looking to see 87, just Michael headed down the front stretch here, and is going to continue down without pitting. So 41 followed him. Greg Mall just behind them, and 3rd is not headed pit lane either.
So interesting here. I know Kim makes some rules sometimes for some of these races that are different than iRacing rules. This is one of them where these cars cannot merge until the backstretch there. Even though you saw them pass the blue cone at the pit road exit, they got to stay on that apron all the way around turn 1.
Yeah, I don't like that rule, Scott. I'm just saying.
You want to get up there and as fast as you can, as soon as you can, right?
Yeah, especially when you're on a track like this where you know you're not going to lose the lead lap technically for a green flag stop, but just being able to get on the track and lose the least amount of time is something I'm always looking for, especially if you're like 10 seconds behind the leader and you have to use that pit exit. It kind of blows, in my opinion.
Yeah, I hear you.
Justin Michael headed to pit lane, so our leader is getting it woed up down to that 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. I imagine 4 tires and fuel, and he's going to call it a night. Hopefully, he doesn't want to see a caution, but I'm sure some of the guys behind him are going to be hoping for it. Wesley Holland's following him to pit lane as well.
Yeah, Wesley Holland's out here. Who else is there? 77 and Jack Watts is on. The 309 back there.
Greg Mall, he's on.
Wally.
Yep.
Watch this battle with on board with Wesley Holland on pit road. See if he can catch Justin Michael on this pit exit, or at least gain some time. This should be interesting. And he's going to be super eager. It's going to be frustrating to watch Justin Michael pull away like that.
Yeah, and I'm looking there. I guess that's Brian Bizzell there.
Brian
I'm not
Bizzell,
sure what
yes.
that black. Yeah, so he's a lap down, I guess.
Man, I think Wesley lost quite a bit of time there. Let's look at those pit stops. Interesting. 12.1 for Wesley Holland and a 14.5 for Justin. So even though Justin was 2 seconds slower, he still gapped Wes by quite a bit, I think, on that pit exit.
Yeah, maybe I was calling out Wes Holland for being stuck behind that 88 on that last pit stop, but maybe it's just Wes Holland. You're going to have to start practicing those pit exits there, Wes.
Watching Jeffrey Merck right now in 5th spot, and 2 cars behind him is Justin Michael. So Jeff Merck, though, we do know is 16 seconds off the lead of James Hearns. All these guys in front of him have not pitted yet. You know, just Jeffrey Merck does have to come in again as well. Let's see, his stint to tires. Merck, where are you? Let's see. Oh, I can't find it right now. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I think
8 laps on his tire, so.
Yeah, Jeffrey Merck definitely going to be making another pit stop. It looks like Christopher Davis is going to be headed to pit lane this time by, maybe with his teammate in that 78 Royal Purple machine. No, Royal Purple staying out, but that Wendy's machine is headed to pit lane. Going to give up that second position. 57 is on pit lane as well. That's Jeff Gilmore giving up that third position. Jeff Gilmore was running up front earlier tonight. I know he's coming in third, but we haven't talked much about him since the beginning of this race, Scott. But once this shakes out, I think he's like just tapping into the top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, we talked about Jeff Gilmore. I feel like early on in this race, he had some good battles out there. So great night for Jeff out here.
111 of John Henderson on pit lane as well. I see that 111. Let me see if, yeah, 111, that Tabasco machine. So, you know, we talked about it before. He was in a black car with black numbers, and NASCAR had to call him out and said, hey, we need to see the numbers on that car. So he brings out that fiery hot Tabasco car, and we can see those numbers there, John. Thank you.
I was going to say, for picking up another paint scheme, that was a sharp-looking paint job there. And no, I didn't paint it either, so nice job, John. Although we still got the black roof going on. I don't know if the officials will like that, but we'll deal with it, I guess.
James Hearn gave up the lead. He's on pit lane, getting that final stop of the night done on that Royal Purple machine. And that's going to cycle us back around to Justin Michael. Coming out, going into, let's see, what turn is he in? He's in turn 1 right now, so. Next time by, he will be our leader, provided nothing happens.
We're talking about how that gap's opening up off of pit road, that pit cycle. Justin Michael with that awesome job, even though it was a slower stop. I think his entry and exit were more efficient than Wes. That 2-second lead has now stretched to almost a 5-second lead over Wes.
Yeah, I know some of these guys watching Justin Michael check out. At this point, it's like, well, we're probably not going to be able to run him down. Let's hope we get that caution.
Charlie Whitner doing an awesome job through his pit cycle. A nice and clean stop. Just 7 seconds off of the lead here. A couple seconds behind Wes.
Yeah, that 14 machine too. I was going to give a shout out to him, but the 14 is now finding himself a lap down. I'm wondering, Scott, if he didn't get a penalty on that last pit stop because he was running in the top 5 and now he's lapped down. So I'm not sure what happened to that 14.
Yeah, I think one of the times when I was watching him real quickly coming to pit road, he was smoking the tires certainly on the entry. I would guess probably speeding on pit entry rather.
Watching the 95 go around the 14 currently as they head through the tunnel turn. Charlie makes it look nice and easy. Head down towards turn 3.
Wesley Holland in the chat there, Wes's dad says 14's nickname. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, Panic Boy, right? That makes sense now. Panic Boy is Robert Mattis, I believe.
Learn something every day. I'm still lost on that one, I guess.
I think, let's get a close up of that car, and I know he paints, I think he paints his own cars. Does a heck of a job. Sometimes, look at the name board up there. I can't really read it. Sometimes they put maybe it does say Panic, I can't tell.
Oh, perhaps, yeah. So, all I see is Red Bull gives you wings. Got a battle here. I'm looking at Vern Margheim, the one car, Heath Smith, Greg Mall. These 3 guys have kind of been changing it up here. Coming through the tunnel here, Vern Margheim on the inside of Heath Smith. They're kind of losing time against Greg Mall. Greg Mall might have split him, and he's setting sail right now. I think that's indeed what happened. Greg Mall caught those 2 guys and made it look like there's a huge battle going on back there, but Greg Mall is checking out on those 2.
Yeah, great run by Greg tonight. This is kind of what I expect from his performance. I know he's had a couple of unfortunate races not go his way since he won that grandfather clock at Martinsville with a no pit strategy into that race. That was sort of unique and fun to call, but since then he's had some tough breaks, so good to see Greg Mall up here with a solid top 5.
Yeah, and he won a real clock, by the way. I think Jeffrey Merck funded that clock, a little miniature clock, so that was kind of cool. And he opened it up there on YouTube for us all to watch him open that clock, so that was really cool. Just going through the field here, looking for some battles. Right now, we're 11 to go here, soon to be 10, which is a long ways at Pocono.
Very long way. When we talked about that, let's go and talk about that lead now. We mentioned it was 5 seconds between Justin and Wes. It's now down to 3.8. I think Wes has found it out of the gear, and see if he can close this gap with just 10 laps to go here.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that, though. It seems like, oh, you got to run it so hard that by the time, if you do catch him, you're going to be out of tires. It's a tough call, I guess. We're not in the cockpit, so I don't know what Wes is doing, what he's feeling, though.
There you can see the gap. There's a good view of it. Justin Michael down into turn 3, and then there's Wes, turn 3. And then there comes Charlie in the red and black Craftsman car. There's Greg Mall in 4th, and Vernon Markham in 5th right there.
In to go.
There it is. 10 laps to go at Pocono. It's been an awesome race so far.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's one of my favorite places to run. Well, any track that's flat and car easy to work at are my favorites.
Hey, can we... Oh, I was just going to say, I was talking about Jeffrey Mark. I thought he was making his way back, and I lost track of the fact that he had to make that extra pit stop again. So, back in Myron 20th, still on the lead lap, though.
Yeah, I was going to mention that earlier, too, Scott. I just wanted to see where Jeff is running currently. Do you think he made that last pit stop?
I think he did, yes. He's...
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, 2 laps on his tires right now, so we must have missed it, and 2 laps ago he pitted. Now back
Just
up to 4 seconds up front. What do you got, Ken?
No, I was just looking through the field here. I was just chopping my gums here, looking for a battle on the track right now. Everybody single file, although the 57 is all over the 309. That's back for 14th or 15th, I guess. Matt Rodoloso and Jeff Gilmore in that 57 machine. Jeff Gilmore trying to get around that 309. And as they get ready to enter turn 1, just right there on his back door, gonna just back off a little bit, try to get a run for this next one. Gets on the inside here, coming out of turn 1. That outside lane can have some momentum sometimes, and it looks like it does. But I think that 57 should have it by the time we get to the tunnel here.
And Matt's gonna let him off, I think, and let him have the best of it. Slide up in front.
Just behind them, Wally Turheimer, that 75 machine. Had Lance Eckerson giving him an attaboy out there at the beginning of the race. Wally now is in 17th after starting in 22nd. So kind of having gained a few positions on the night, but been fairly quiet.
Wesley Holland, Wes's dad in the chat confirms that, yes, what's his name? Robert Mattis is in fact Panic. So it shall be known from this day forward. We got you.
Gonna have to remember that. Greg Mall, he's trying to close back in on that 95 Charles Widener. Charles Widener has a little bit older tires, is giving up time to Greg Mall. Greg Mall is trying to run him down. Greg Mall wants that podium spot there, getting that 3rd position here. So that battle is probably going to heat up in another lap or 2.
Yeah, last time by, Greg Mall running about, let's see here, 4/10 faster than Charlie, so I think that's going to close here in a hurry, especially as that draft takes effect. Down the long pong straightaway. 7 laps to go from the 7 car.
Yeah, and you called out Wesley earlier running down Justin Michael. He's still continuing to run him down a little bit, just 3.5 seconds back, actually probably less than that now.
Yeah, it's closer to 3 seconds, but that is a ton here at Pocono.
It is, and we got 8 laps or 6 laps left, which is also a ton left too. E. Smith all over the back bumper of that 33 machine back there for 5th. Vernon Margheim has 5th, and E. Smith wants it there with that silver #1 car. That what was that? A Spotify car, I believe. There, Scott, his new sponsor, new car number.
Yep. On board now with Heath Smith. See if we can make some room here through the tunnel turn right now. There it is, the short turn, carrying a lot of speed, no downshift. Right to the wall, try to get some momentum built. If I was Heath, I'd probably be looking to stay on the outside of Vernon, but he ducks to the inside, trying to make something work as Vernon stays to the outside and try to gather the momentum coming off of turn 3 here. 5 laps to go here, Pocono.
Just ahead of them, Greg Mall has caught that 95 machine up there battling for 3rd. Trying to get by that 95 machine. Charles Widener was throwing some moves, trying to keep Greg Mall back there, but I don't know. Charlie's going to have a tough road to hoe here. Keep that Miller Fortune machine behind him. As we see, Greg Mall gets to the inside there as we head towards the tunnel turn here. See if Greg Mall can pull this off. This battle is.
Greg does a great job backing up early. Careful not to slide the car and overdrive it into Charlie. Does a great job, and Charlie carries momentum off the tunnel turn and maintains position here.
I guarantee you that Charlie is sweating right now. He is driving that car for all it's worth. Oh, Greg Mall all just kissing the rear of that 95 machine there. Trying to get him loosened up, trying to get by him here. Greg Mall desperately wants to come and talk to us tonight.
Yeah, he knows that's an interview spot if nothing else. No trophy on the line, but we'll talk to one of these guys at the end of this thing.
And just seeing what else is going on. Still, that battle hasn't changed between E. Smith and Vernon Margheim, just behind them for that 5th position. Vernon Margheim holding on to it. Vernon Margheim's been having a stronger second half of this season, Scott. Wouldn't you say? It's kind of started off the season kind of struggling, but it's been solidly running in the top 5 of the last few races.
Yeah, struggling a little bit, but yeah, we talked to him, a couple interviews, finished top 3 in the last few races, but did start off strong in the sense that the second race of the year, Auto Club Speedway, put a checkered flag on his door there. First win of the season for Vernon, so looking to pick up a second here at some point. I won't be surprised to see him in Victor Lane before the season wraps up. Greg Mall still cannot find a way around Charlie here. 3 laps to go.
Yeah, he's going to look to the inside there, going into the tunnel turn there. I don't know, Charlie was pretty strong last time too here and was able to hold off that 7 car. We'll see if he can do it again.
Great job by Charlie by hanging on the inside there. Greg is loose.
Paul got on the apron there, and I thought he was going to get really loose there. Good job there. Sorry for interrupting you there, Scott. I got excited.
Right, me too. I don't know what side I'm on. I'm just on the side of good racing, and Charlie is putting up one heck of a race here. 2 laps to go, not much has changed up front. Justin Michael still 4.1 seconds ahead of Wesley Holland.
Yeah, Wes Holland's been giving that time back in this last couple of laps, so it isn't running him down no longer here. This is a familiar position for Justin Michael. He's got how many wins on the season there, Scott? I want to say 7.
Yeah, lucky 7.
And you're going to have to do perhaps another win sticker and find another spot on that car to give it to him.
Oh boy, maybe we'll put him down the, I don't know. Where do we put him down? The side of the floor, the side skirt there maybe or something? I don't know.
I think people would like to stuff his wind stickers in the tailpipe there, some of his competition.
White flag is out one more time, 2.5 miles around. Next flag will end this race. Justin Michael looking for win number 8 in the multi-league Stone River Outfitters Cup Series. Wesley Holland giving a big ground now, 5 seconds back. And let's see what's happening with this battle. Charlie's not giving up yet. Greg Mall still collecting 3rd, and Charlie right on his bumper there in 4th. We'll see if he's got anything for him this last 2 miles of the race. Back in fifth, Vernon and Heath Smith still bumper to bumper back there, trying to pick up some spots.
Yeah, Heath Smith took a look to the inside there as they approached the tunnel turn. No dice yet.
Looks like Greg Mall's got nothing. We're going to keep that spot over Charlie. And we go to our leader, Justin Michael, down the front stretch across the checkerboard, and win number 8 on the series. Wesley Holland coming across side by side with Eric Talon, who's a lap down, but second place for Wesley Holland. Nice run there. And third place off corner 4. I don't know that Charlie's done with them yet. Give it to Greg Mall and Charlie Widner 4th. Vernon 5th and Heath Smith in 6th. Great run by these guys.
Yeah, Jack Watts picks up 7th. Michael Melfeld Jr., great run. Picks up 8th. Ken Richardson 9th. Andre Savala looks like is going to pick up that 10th. No, Christopher Davis beats Andre Savala to the 10th position. Andre gets 11th. James Hearns is still on the track there, trying to get that 12th there. Oh no, that's turn 1. So James Hearns picks up 12th. John Penzilla, good run. John picks up 13th.
There it is. We'll go over the official standings in a couple minutes here. Meanwhile, we're looking at Justin Michael through turn number 3 on the front stretch. Probably going to give the fans a show here. Win number 8 on the season. We'll get the him queued up as well as the final standings here in a few moments.
Watching Justin Michael burn him down while Scott is bringing the guys' radio rooms up here. Familiar position for Justin Michael here. Win number 8 now there, Scott. And he's going to have to put some more win stickers on that car. And all
right. There it is. Your top 3, Justin Michael, Wesley Holland, Greg Mall. I'm not sure we have a radio contact with. Oh yeah, there he is in the green room. We got Wesley up here. What do you want to start with, Ken? I don't know.
you choose tonight. I think I'm good with however you want to start it.
All right. We'll go with Greg Mall here, finishing in 3rd place. Put up a heck of a battle there between you and Charlie Widner in the last closing laps there. I got to say, I didn't expect to see you in the top 5 tonight, but hats off to you from Bandit Motorsports. Awesome run here in the top 3 for the Miller Fortune Ford Mustang. How'd your night go there, and how was that battle with Charlie there at the end?
Yeah, to be honest, Scott, I was actually kind of amazed that Charlie had enough fuel there at the end, because I thought, just based on what my consumption numbers were telling me, and with the track cooling off there towards the end of the race, I figured it was going to be tight trying to make 20 laps on tanks. So hats off to him for being able to make that entire run there at the finish without losing too much pace there. But yeah, overall, not a bad night. Was just kind of hanging around 20th spot there during the first run. I'm sure you guys noticed, but just tried to do a little bit something different on strategy, and sure enough, that kind of paid off for us there with a caution just as we were coming out of the pits there after the first run, and just kind of able to hang around that top 5 area for the rest of the night, and just kind of slowly but surely creep our way into the 4th and then the 3rd there at the end. And yeah, I'll take 3rd after a night like tonight.
Yeah, how bummed were you to see that first caution? I think it was around lap 22 or so, maybe just as you came to pit road, I believe. Looked like you may have had this one not necessarily in the bag, but certainly a step in the right direction with just one pit stop down in the race. Looked like it was falling your way, and maybe Wes looked like he stretched the fuel mileage as well. How frustrating was that to see that caution come out early there and put everybody back on the same strategy?
Yeah, it was definitely a bummer to kind of see that. And I don't know what exactly happened with iRacing, but as soon as I got out of pit road, I lost, I don't know, 10, if not 15 spots. I could have easily stayed right there near 7th or 8th when I was coming out of the pits, and all of a sudden, it's relegating me all the way back to the back end of the field there. So not sure what ultimately happened there. I didn't get any notifications on my side saying that I needed to drop to the rear, but would have been interesting to see. Hindsight's 2020 on that. It's hard to say that I could have made it with one less stop, especially with the track cooling off and gaining a little bit more speed there. But it would have it would have been interesting to see if we could have made it without one stop and see. I don't know if we would have got the win per se, but still a top 3. So
yeah, certainly a great run for the Miller Fortune car. I've got 2 questions for you. One is next week, looking at Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course racing. What have you got out there, as iRacing just released the newly scanned infield road course? And second of all, what paint scheme are we going to see next week?
I'll let your imagination kind of ponder that second question throughout the week, but we got a few choices anyways looking into next week at Indy, but I don't know. I'm curious to see. It's been, gosh, I think the only thing that I've really done in terms of actual iRacing competition at the Indy road course has been probably the IMSA cars and probably the prototypes. So don't really have anything close to compare in terms of, big, heavy, full-bodied stock cars. But yeah, that could definitely be interesting. I don't know how the point situation's playing out for the tail end of the leaderboard in terms of points in this league, but that definitely could be a spot where people could make up quite a few points there and get them closer to that chase bubble. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, certainly we're looking at points earlier in the night, but it looks like you're climbing the point standings quite steady, if I'm reading this right, in 4th spot there. So every week when I do the point update, seems like you're knocking off another spot or 2. So great job out there. 1 win on the season, of course, back in Martinsville, winning the grandfather clock. And looking forward to maybe kissing the bricks next week. From Bandit Motorsports, you guys taking out the first 2 out of the top 3 spots here tonight. We look forward to talking to you next week from Indianapolis. Congrats, Greg.
Appreciate it, guys.
There we go. That's 3rd place runner Greg Mall and the Miller Fortune Ford. Another Ford in the top 3. Wesley Holland here. Let's take this one, Ken.
Hey, Wes. I always get to talk to you every week. How is that?
I mean, I don't know about every week. Haven't been up here in a while.
It seems like you have, but I don't know. Where'd you finish last week? I can't remember.
Oh, we're not going to talk about
that. Yeah, but you're up here more often than not, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you. So at the start of this race, you were looking really strong, and then towards the end there, it looked like you were having a hard time running down Justin Michael. How'd your race go?
For the most part, it was good. I think just here at the end, I cooked the right front tire off and then just got farther behind and caused me to cook it again there on the last run. So it was just all my own doing. Felt like I was saving pretty good early in the race. I don't know if it was because I had cars in front of me and it just was checking up more, but felt like it was a solid finish and no X's and complete turnaround from the last couple of weeks. So I can't pout about it too much, I guess.
No, another thing, Scott and I were noticing you were one of the ones that stayed out the longest. You stayed out to lap 21, so I imagine at the start of this race you were kind of hoping that you'd have a solid green flag run and shorten this up by 1 stop.
I mean, yeah, I like to think that I can play the long run strategy, but I mean, it hardly ever works out for me, so it doesn't stop me from trying, obviously, every week. But I just like having that fresher tires on the long run, just, so you got something in the bank to push hard at the end. Pretty much what I try to do, but it works out probably about 3% of the time for me. So.
Yeah, well, good job on that second place finish. So I also want to remind you that you won at Road America, I believe. Is that not correct?
Yeah, and Infineon, yep.
Yeah, so Infineon. Well, I haven't heard that in a while. Yeah, so what do you got next week for Indy?
I don't know. I've never been so happy to go to a road course. I feel like I've done well this season. Now I'm just looking. We could just run road courses the rest of the season because I finished good there.
At the beginning of the season, you would have never said that. All you guys were saying, we should just bury these road courses, and now you're talking about, I want to go to these things.
I feel like I've just been killing myself lately at these oval tracks. I don't know what it is, but I hurt myself 2 weeks in a row there. Black flags, speeding, jumping the start. So kind of happy that this went green here at the end and I didn't have those chances to make my mistakes that I've been making. So like I said, complete turnaround this week and just happy to finish second, I guess.
Yeah, that was a good run. Well, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight before we send you back to your team?
You guys in the broadcast booth for doing this, putting this on for us. the league admins just putting this together, having a place to race every night, and my buddies over at Bad Apple, everybody was in the chat. That's in the chat every week that helps everybody finish well or try to finish well. And just shout out to Panic, Bobby, Robert Matisse. He painted this Bush Apple car up, not Bad Apple, but Bush Apple. So big shout out to him.
All right, Scott, you got anything for Wes before we let him go?
No, just a big congrats again there, Wes. Must have been frustrating when you had the fuel mileage kind of under wraps with the plan laid out from the green flag and see that kind of fall apart with cautions. But what I like is it was awesome to see you and Justin have kind of a head-to-head battle. Granted, you end up on the backside of that battle, but nice to see a full race where neither one of you guys had major issues, and looking forward to a lot closer racing in the future here, especially going on the road course. We know you guys kind of mixed it up, had some great battles on the track back in Sonoma, I believe. So looking forward to you guys putting on a great show out there, as well as looking forward to where this point standings ends up as we approach the second half of the season here. So good luck to you, Wes.
I appreciate it, guys.
Well, Scott, while you talk to our race winner, I'm going to head to the hot dog stand. I heard they got good hot dogs down here.
All right, you grab me one or two, and appreciate it, Ken. And we'll talk to you probably next week at Indy if we don't see you here.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to grab one.
All right.
Be right.
Let's go to our race winner. That would be Mr. Justin Michael here. Win number 8. Count them, 8 on the season. And I got to say, I'm looking at the YouTube chat here, and your Bandit Motorsports captain, I believe that's Chris down there, saying to check the nose on that Toyota.
Well, you know, Greg was wondering if he was going to win the race, finishing third and all. So,
good point. First and second get DQ'd, but great run here tonight at Pocono, kind of dominating fashion as you tend to do, starting from the pole, led a bunch of laps early on. How worried were you when it came to pit road, talking about that first pit cycle? You come in pit around lap 18, 19, and then you see both Wes and Greg, for that matter, make it to like lap 21, I believe, before that first caution came out. Would that worry you at all going forward?
it did. I didn't really expect us to be able to make it 21 laps because it was cool. You use more gas when it's cool. So we just said screw it and just started sending it every lap and not saving. And then they didn't pit. I was like, what's going on? And then he pitted on, came in on lap 21. I was like, well, crap, we're screwed if we don't get a yellow. So we got real lucky on that first caution. Real lucky.
Yeah, certainly. So hats off to you for putting the race together. It was kind of fun watching you plow through the field again through pit stop sequence. I think you restarted in the middle there around 7th spot when the leaders stayed out. So great job coming through the field there, and some exciting moments. Some good battles between you and Wes. Looks like you stretched out the gap with about 10 to 12 laps to go. I noticed you guys had about a consistent 3 to 4 second lead there, and then about 10 to go, you kind of found a sixth gear and just kind of released the hounds and stretched that out on Wes there. Was that you going faster or Wesley going slower, as they say in Days of Thunder?
Well, I think that very first long green flag run after the first yellow, I had 5 lap older tires than he did. So I was able to just pass him, and he kind of just stuck with me because I think I was able to save tires better than he was. And then we were on even tires after that, and I started to pull away. And then at the very end, I kind of just backed off. I was like, I had a 5-second lead. There's no point to try to run, damage the car. Maybe we'll get to green white checkers, so I've saved a couple gallons of gas. So we started backing off, and he was catching us. And eventually he just started sliding backwards. So I think he just burned his stuff up. He was just going, high lap and trying to catch us.
Yeah, we were just talking to Wes a couple of minutes ago, and I was saying how awesome it was to see you guys kind of have a fair and square shake from green flag to checker flag. You and Wes going neck and neck. We know you guys are first and second in the points in dominating fashion. So hats off to you for putting a great show on here. One other thing I noticed on that last pit stop, your pit crew, I don't know if you need to give them some ice cream or beer or something, or maybe some ribs, send them some spice for the ribs if they're smoking meats. But they did an awesome job there on pit road. I think you stretched the lead from 3 seconds up to 5 seconds on that pit stop alone. Was that driver technique, you think, on the entry and exit?
I did get it kind of hard that time. I was a lot of the other times I was getting pretty conservative. I wanted to make sure I had a good lead, so I could kind of just pace myself and let him slowly catch me and burn his stuff up. So, but I think we got into the box really well. Pit crew did a good job. So it was just that was an excellent pit stop all around.
Yeah, awesome job for the race. We'll put number 8 on the board for you and on the C-post there. And what do you got next week? Going to the rescan, not newly configured because that's been out for a couple of years now in the real world, but for iRacing, the new Indy road course. What do we got going out there next week?
Well, I've ran the old one once in an Indy car, and I've never touched it in a stock car. So we'll spend this week practicing like we did with Road America, and hopefully we don't, go into turn 1 and just blow the whole turn. So hopefully it's a better result this time.
Right, looking forward to a great race between you and Wesley out there. Anybody to thank for win number 8 on the season in the Stone River Outfitters Cup Series here tonight?
Just everybody out there watching. You guys call good races as always. Ken puts on a great league. Sorry if I say Kim. I think I said Ken. My friend Darren out there for watching as always. So definitely appreciate that. So hopefully it was a good show for everybody.
All right, hats off to you, Justin, and we'll talk to you next week from
Congrats,
Indy.
Justin.
Enjoy the week.
Thanks, guys.
What do you think, Ken? I hear you back from the hot dog stand. What'd you end up picking up?
Oh, I got myself a big Polish here, and I'm sitting here enjoying it. That's probably too much information, but yeah. So I'm really excited. I'm happy to be done with Pocono, but we go to Indy, and one thing I want to mention is last year, I think you won at Indy, but you shouldn't have.
That one I do remember. Sometimes you bring up these races, I'm like, I don't remember anything about that race. But I can tell you, I do remember you having the fast car the entire day, pulling out about a 10-second lead on me. And then I believe it was a self-spin coming back on the speedway. I take the lead back, and you all but came back and took the lead from me, I think, within 2 seconds of the end of the race. So, yeah, I do remember that one.
Yeah, I'm really fond of Indy, as you can tell, Scott, though. So I really do enjoy that track. It's difficult in a different way. I don't know how to explain it, but I think the cars are slippery. There's some really short corners there. Now, I haven't ran the new configuration yet. So, as you said, the new to iRacing configuration. So it'll be interesting to see how we're all going to get around that place next week.
I think so. We're looking forward to it. Meanwhile, that's about a wrap from Pocono Speedway in the Pocono Mountains here in the northeast of Pennsylvania. We're heading out a little bit west to Indianapolis, Indiana. Road racing style next week. No cautions, just flat out strategy and green flag racing. Should be an exciting one. You know the drill. Next Monday night, 8:30 Eastern Time. Same channel, Multi-League Racing Network. We appreciate you watching tonight. Enjoy the week. Have a safe week, everybody. On behalf of myself and Ken Huber, we'll talk to you later, folks.
Good night, everyone.
Leave you with some highlights here from Pocono.
Don't hold his hand. Teach a man to fish. Was it buy a man a fish he eats for a day? Teach a man to fish he fishes for he eats for a lifetime.